everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Our Miss CEO is sick, and as you can tell,
Oh no.
so we're going to give her voice a break today. So,
Yes, because she just came back from an extravaganza. So we need her to recuperate, okay?
absolutely. Absolutely.
How is everyone? Welcome to Witchy Wednesdays.
Nice. Love that. Who's excited to talk about past lives tonight?
I'm excited because I need to know what the people said in my old life, okay?
I had a voice in my past life.
Love it. Love it.
How you doing, Apple Honey? You good today, darling?
I am. I'm excited. I'm excited about this one. I love Witchy Wednesdays. I haven't got my Crystals for Beginners book from last week, so I could study.
Whoop, whoop. Come on now. Okay.
Love that. Was there any crystals that you were like drawn to the most, other than the amethyst last week?
I love the Amist. It's always my favorite. But the obsidian has piqued my interest.
Ooh.
That's awesome. Hi.
Hi, ladies.
Apple Bomb and Giggles.
Oh, someone is waiting for Jess. Okay, she ain't going nowhere, baby. She right here.
Yep, I'm right here.
Okay.
We're gonna have a time.
Yes, eyebrows on fleek. Come on now.
Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, we're gonna talk about past lives tonight, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know too much about it, but what I do know, we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. You know, everyone has a curiosity about their past lives. I know for me anyway, and for those of us here. But yeah, there's like reincarnation, there's soul contracts, and simply just having a feeling that you've been here before, but yeah, there's like, of course there's like no way to actually prove what your past life was. It's just, if it feels right, it feels right for you. So, there are multiple ways to tap into it, meditation, psychedelics, tapping into the Akashic records, which I'm not, brushed up on that, but very interested in that, which is like the history of everything and everything that will be. So, tarot and oracle cards, and of course, astrology through your birth chart, which we're going to use tonight. So,
I'm excited about that. I tried to find my own, and I got lost on the internet.
Well, we'll help you out. I got you right here. So,
yay!
So what I found really interesting going through our birth charts, oh, thank you, Finny, is that Carrie and Apple Honey and Nikki all have similar north nodes and south nodes, which I'll get into the north nodes and south nodes in a minute. And I just thought that was really interesting, but you all had different houses in which they were in, which they mean different things as well. And then for me and Pink Plush, hello, we had the opposite north nodes and south nodes as well. So I just thought that was really interesting. Out of all the combinations, who I've looked up, we only had like two different combinations. It was just kind of interesting, kind of like souls recognize souls kind of thing. So, yeah.
I mean, being that Carrie is my wifey, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's only right. It's only right. We were destined to be together.
Absolutely. Okay, so I feel like we should just dive on in unless you have questions or... comments or anything?
Okay, so before you dive in, can you break down what the North and South node means and what it represents?
Absolutely. If you first of all don't know what your North and South node is, there are calculators for free online, or you can use the Horos app, HOROS, which is a free app. Um, but the North node is what you're meant to do in this lifetime. I'm reading off my phone, sorry. The lessons you may learn and the career you're meant to have, essentially, your soul's purpose in this lifetime. So the opposite of that is the South node. And this is what you've already mastered in a previous lifetime and what you need to sometimes let go of in order to balance your life currently. It's simply who you might have been in a past life. And sometimes inklings of it comes out in your current lifetime to show you like, hey, you've been here before, you know how to handle this, you know? So it's kind of fun to like look where your North and South nodes are, which houses they're in, and which area of your life you need to focus on. So, but yeah, I can start with my North and South node just to give you an idea of like what this is. And then we will dive in with Carrie if she's okay with that after that. So, all right. I'm a Pisces North node. So the opposite of Pisces is Virgo on the chart. So my South node is Virgo.
Oh my. Oh my.
Yeah, I know. So Pisces is where I need to be. Like the Pisces energy is where I need to be in this lifetime. Virgo is what I use to essentially balance out in this lifetime. So my North node is in the third house. The third house is how you think and communicate, and how you write, you speak, and how you present yourself with your words. And the South node is in the ninth house, which is, you know, higher learning, ethics, cultural relations, and like expanding your knowledge. So I feel like I spent a lot of time in my past life mastering, like gaining all my knowledge and like mastering higher learning, of course.
So it's a possibility that in your past life you might have been an educator.
Exactly. So, and in this life, I'm supposed to focus on how I communicate. And Pisces is very spiritual, very psychic, a psychic, you know, placement. So I feel like my abilities to read tarot and read spirit is very on point. So with that, so it says my South Node in Virgo suggests an innate practicality and sense of order, but also a sense of panic and anxiety when things don't go as planned. Therefore, you may burden yourself with others with rigid expectations of proper behavior, perfect situations, which is insanely accurate because I over-explain everything. And that's something that I need to let go in this lifetime. I've already conquered that fear in another lifetime, and it's coming up in ways to show me that I am capable of conquering that fear. And this life's message is to let go of worry and work on developing a sense of connectedness of everyone and everything. So I just thought that was very on point for me. I don't know if anyone else resonates with that. It could be a possibility that you have a Pisces North node, Virgo South node. So yeah, I feel like we need music. All right. Did you want to go? Did you want me to read yours, Carrie? Or okay, awesome. Just put thumbs up or thumbs down if you're not resonating with it, or if you are. So Carrie is a Sagittarius North node and a Gemini South node, and so is Apple Honey.
Ooh.
But you both have them in different houses. So I'm going to read Carrie's first. This part might resonate with you, Apple Honey, or do you just want to be called BB? I'm so sorry.
BB's fine. Apple honey's fine. BB's fine.
So the South Node in Gemini indicates that you can really overthink decisions and constantly second guess yourself. You got so good at seeing other people's points of views that you lost touch with your own. Your Sagittarius North Node indicates that the greatest rewards for you are in trusting your intuition and being open and honest about yourself and what you want. So, for Carrie, the North Node in Sagittarius is in the 6th house. And that's all about health, your workflow, your organization of your life, and how you can be of service to others while not neglecting yourself. So I think that's like very appropriate just from what I've seen and know of you. So that's what you're focused in this lifetime. And what you've let go of and what you're balancing now, what you've mastered in a past life is you were very spiritual and you had a lot of healing and a lot of closure of loose soul ends, soul ties. Your karmic debts have been paid. And, it sometimes feels like maybe that isn't the case, but I feel like as you get older, you grow to see like, you know what, I am like right where I need to be. And it just feels right. So you could have been a very spiritual healer in a past life and you did a lot of work for others. And in this life, it's all about working for yourself, but still essentially helping others in the process. So it's not selfish needs at all. So, and the same goes for BB, but your houses are different. I'll get into that. So
I'm curious. I'm very curious.
All right. So if I'm talking too fast, please tell me to slow down. I drink so much iced coffee over here. But yeah, so what I read earlier about, overthinking and letting those, overwhelming thoughts go and, trusting your intuition more applies here. Except for your focus in this lifetime is in the 2nd house, your North Node. So focus on making money, and you're very proud of your material possessions and your values and what you desire. Like if you want it, you're going to get it. That type of thing. And what you've let go of and what you use to balance in this lifetime is transformation. And you had a lot of hard lessons learned in your past life. It probably was a very rough life. And I wouldn't even go as far to say no, I would go as far to say is that sometimes that could be like triggered in the present. And you're like, why is this coming up? It just could be a feeling that is like left over from the past life. But in order to grow, you had to go through that. Not that you deserved it, the bad stuff, of course, but it was vital to your transformation and to thrive in this lifetime. So yeah. Do you have any questions about that? No.
It almost reminds me of like deja vu. Those feelings you get.
Yes, that's actually a sign. People say it's a sign anyway.
I get it all the time. Even in dreams, you'll dream of a place and you're like, I've never been there before, but you feel like you've been there before.
Yeah, it's like an experience of like a very specific moment that you're currently experiencing, but you felt like you've already done it. Mm-hmm. It's a reminder that like, hey, you're so on the right path. Like you made it, It's like, someone said, or you swear you know someone but just met. Or was that Carrie? Oh yeah. Okay.
I do that a lot. And I'm not, how do I say? I'm not a people person, which is weird because I'm here. I'm not a people person, but there's some people that you meet and you're like, oh, like I was supposed to meet that person, or you feel like you already knew that person.
Yeah. You could be like, you could have been a brother or sister in a past life to them, or a lover, or, they could have been your child, It's very, very interesting. But like I said earlier, it's just a knowing, and you can't explain it other than when you just feel it, you know? So, yeah. Nikki,
Yes.
you ready?
Yes.
All right. So you're a Gemini North Node,
Oh, Lord.
Sagittarius South Node. So you're the opposite of Carrie and BB. So,
Foolishness.
um, so your North Node in Gemini is you're here to like sample life, like everything that life has to offer. Like you literally just like take bits and pieces from everything just to learn and experience life, right? You savor it. And it's like a way you connect with people. And Gemini North Node are very, talkative, they're very interactive and very on top of their communication skills. So it's very interesting that it's in the ninth house for you, which is
I can see that, and I haven't known you that long.
and it being in the ninth house is all about expanding your knowledge and your higher learning and brushing up on your ethics and cultural relations and just bringing that all together to be a cohesive like lifestyle, if you will. So what you've like essentially let go of or bring balance into your life from your past life is your Sagittarius South Node. So I'm sorry, hold on. Oh, it's your optimism that like got you through life. Like, and that carries over into the present. And, you're able to share your wisdom and connect deeply with people because you've mastered that. And your third house, South Node, which is like communication, how you present yourself and the ways you think are just very uniquely you. So that you could have been a public speaker or someone who traveled and I really feel that for you. And now it's all about just soaking that all in now.
Oh, child. Well, and it's crazy you say that because I've gotten one past life reading, and what's crazy is when I got it, I thought I saved the email, and the email vanished.
Wow.
But what I remember from it was I was an educator and I traveled
That makes so much sense.
throughout, just teaching people, loving on people, and things of that nature. And
Sorry, my God is screaming at me.
it's really. Whew. I'm gonna dive so much deeper into it. Like,
Yeah, that's just like surface level stuff.
yeah.
It's and it's there's a lot more online, of course. You can do Googling and all that, but there are people who specifically tap into this energy, as you had like a reading before. I personally have had a reading before as well, and it was wild, and it all resonated weirdly and like felt like I have lived those lives. She could have been a very good storyteller, but it felt right, So, um, but yeah. Does anyone have any like past life stories of like dreams or like things that have come up when you were a kid or like anything like that?
I have a really weird one, and I've never explored it because I really didn't ever look into it more. Obviously, I live in Florida, and I don't live far from a place called Casadega, which, if you've ever been to Florida, it's a witch town. I had a dream that I was being drugged through the streets. I've never been there. I've been in Florida my whole life. I've never been there. I've always been wanting to stay away. And when I woke up, I had a scratch on my arm, on my hand. And I was like, either I scratched myself or this very weird dream was very intense. And I woke up and I didn't want to go back to sleep because I didn't want to finish the dream. My husband always thinks I'm crazy, but it stuck with me. I was like 22 years old, and that dream was like, maybe we should stay away from there for a little bit, like just stay out of Casadega.
And maybe that's coming up as like a warning, or maybe something bad happened there in a past life, and it's just your soul's natural reaction to recoil, you know, and it's a way to protect you.
It's a strange place. I tried looking it up to try to like pinpoint that feeling, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know how deep I should dig into this, because I'm drawn to it because I want to go, but that dream is like, maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah. That's really interesting. I have a wild story actually about my son, if I can talk about that. But when he was 3 or 4, we lived in Maine at the time, and we would often drive and visit to Rhode Island. And every time we drove through Massachusetts, every time we drove through Massachusetts, he was like 3 and 4. He couldn't read. Like, we would pass by like a certain town, and he might have just known it was that town, but like every time we passed it, he goes, "My brother lives here." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" Like, he doesn't have a brother. And I was just like, "Okay." But like every time we passed it, "My brother lives here. He has a blue truck." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Interesting." And then he started talking about his other mom and dad and how they passed away. And he doesn't know what their names were because he couldn't talk. So I'm assuming they passed away when he was really young. And then he told me that he had a brother and sister that took care of him when his mom and dad passed away. I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "What did they look like?" And he goes, "My other dad had yellow hair and my other mom had orange hair." So, definitely not me. So it was just really crazy. There was a lot more details. I should have looked it up, but because I like wrote a whole thing about it so I would remember. But he doesn't remember that now. He's 11. And it was just so strange that he just remembered everything in detail. And he remembered it happening in a car. So I think he was in the car and like his parents passed away, and like he remembers that happening at least. So I just thought that was very, very strange.
That's really interesting.
I'm such an advocate for domestic violence. From a prior past life reading, I was told I was a woman who was severely abused. Wow. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And that's part of like things getting like triggered from previous lifetimes, I try to mix science with woo sometimes, but they say trauma passes down through DNA. So why can't, pass through soul ties? Unfortunately, but it's how we learn. It's how we protect ourselves. It's how we transform and do better. But yeah, that's really interesting.
I feel like as a Pisces too, when I'm around people or growing up around people, I've always felt that I can feel like their pain, so to speak. I can feel in a room, like growing up with my mom and knowing her trauma and like all those things. I grew up feeling that. So it made me more self-aware of everything.
I was about to say, I was reading somewhere one time about how it was passed down through DNA, but also, if you want to get into like generational curses, also passes down. So like, let's just say if your great grandmama was raped, 9 times out of 10, your grandmama was probably gonna be molested, and then your mother, until somebody say, the book stops here with abuse, and they heal the bloodline from abuse, and you heal past generations, and you also heal the future generations as well, so that way this thing doesn't reoccur. You know what I'm saying? So it's really interesting how something like trauma that you can't see or anything, but it can be passed down from generation to generation. Sometimes it skips generations, but until somebody says and heals from that trauma, how it can just there's something like that can be passed down, and you not think twice about it until you start tapping in and saying, you know what, let me research these things and let me go and understand what the spiritual life entails. A lot of people, I feel like a lot of people get into the spiritual life and or try to brave the past life and not really understand the information that you get from the past life really can help mold and shape how you raise your kids, your current situation and things, and even in your healing, how it can really help you propel forward and say, okay, I know this, now I have this information, what am I going to do with it?
I also feel like a lot of it has to do with how we're raised and changing. Like I feel like a lot of things happen because we're raised to be nice, we're raised to be friendly, and now we're in a time where we're starting to realize that those are really bad habits that we give to our children, because then we've raised them to not see the red flags and not to be aware of their surroundings and to not protect themselves from all of these predators that are out there. So I feel like for me, one of the things that I've taken is being able to like raise my kids differently, to be like, nah, you don't have to hug everybody. You don't have to be nice to everybody. You need to understand that if somebody makes you feel icky, stay the fuck away.
I was going to say the same thing. I was always raised completely different. There was no discipline in our household. Everything was very calm and mellow, and family's family. I grew up knowing that, family isn't always blood. And I teach that to my kids. I don't care if they're related. If you're not comfortable, you're not comfortable. Tell me. Like, I will fix it. I will make it better. And I think that's really important. And not many people they don't do that.
Yeah, sometimes the biggest predators are in your own family.
Yes.
And there's a reason why children recoil from that, giving their creepy uncle a hug, because they know, they be knowing.
They do.
Oh, yeah. Oh, kids know. My youngest, she's very young, and she's very crossed arms, lip out. Like, if she doesn't like you, she doesn't like you. And it's so funny to me because kids are like that. It's like, it's that either like just that higher power somewhere that's giving them that response. And a lot of parents even, they don't respect that. And I think it's important.
Well, you teach by doing that, you teach kids at an early age that there's no such thing as boundaries. Mm-hmm. And you can't force a child to like someone. You can't force a child to be comfortable. If they're uncomfortable and they set a boundary that they don't want to have any type of physical interaction with somebody, then you need to respect their boundaries and let those be what they are, whether you like it or not, whether you like that person. If they're not comfortable, you have to let them choose their boundaries and respect them.
Yeah, and that's part of what Nikki was saying was, the generational trauma breaker, like the curse breaker. Like, we're part of that process, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of that comes from past lives also. Like, you learn from those things that you bring into the present. And, I personally have a lot of memories and like a lot of my life that I don't remember. Even in this current life, there's a lot of things that I just don't remember. And I don't know why. I'm not going to look for those answers because I feel like they're very traumatic and they're going to change, the happiness and the peace that I've created for today. So I just leave them where they're at. I trust my brain. If my brain has created that protective mechanism, I'm gonna respect that. I'm gonna appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, my mind is a little different. I remember everything up to a certain point, and then there's black spots. that you don't remember, and you go back and you're like, wait, it's like I don't remember that. And a part of me wants to go, why don't I remember that? I'm like, wait a second, I probably don't remember for a reason, and maybe I should leave it alone, because I'm a big true crime nerd, so my brain says, let's find it, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't. Let's leave it alone.
Yeah, now, and me, I can remember, I can go back as far as 2,
Me too.
the age of 2, remembering, and I'm not talking about like, oh, I just remember. No, I'm talking about detailed. I can tell you the night my grandmother went into the hospital. What she was laying in the bed from the ambulance to the door when me and my mother was looking out the door and it was foggy. And I seen the ambulance outside. Like, I can give you details of certain memories. Starting as a young too. So I'm like, I don't really want to remember.
I've always been able to do that too. That's why I'm like, if I forgot something, maybe like there's a really good reason I can't remember that one.
Yes. Let's stay on. I do. But I also feel like if sometimes when you tap into, it can help heal the inner child. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just depends, I guess, on your approach. And if you are mentally and emotionally ready to tap into that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that we don't remember, if you did some inner child work, it would probably come up. But a lot of people are not ready because that inner child work, oh Lord. It's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. So being able to do that, and make sure, like I said, you got to be ready to tap into those things because it can uncover a lot of things that you'd have forgotten.
Yeah, definitely protect yourself. Don't trigger anything that's gonna, make you spiral, of course.
Oops, my computer was about to die. Forgot to plug it in.
It's a tough place to be because while you want to hide from the truth and keep your peace, at the same time, it's almost kind of pivotal that because what if you have somebody in your life that you should be away from, like you don't want near your kids, so it's a really tough decision. I just have a distant relationship with most of my family anyway, so I feel like that's the protective measure that I've taken, but I just don't have the desire to go find things out.
I have distant relationships with immediate family too, and there's a huge reason for it. And my son, he's almost 6, and he has an uncle that he hasn't met, and there's a reason for that. And it's me doing what I can to make sure he doesn't go through what I went through. But that's because I woke up and I saw what everyone else should see. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something about it. And that's important. I wish more people would delve into that.
Yeah, it's a very touchy subject.
I wish more people will protect children. It's like people don't want to protect babies no more.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic. Because
Yeah.
I'm about to go to a rant. I had to stop myself. But
energetically, we just entered, like, astrology wise, like we just entered the age of Aquarius on March 23rd, I believe. Like, Pluto went into Aquarius. It's going to retrograde for a few months and then go back to Aquarius, but for like I think 10 to 20 years it's going to be in Aquarius. And there's going to be a lot of systematic change, and there's going to be more willingness to break these curses of the past and healing trauma, and start caring about our future and the children who are, going to lead us into the future. So it's definitely is touchy, but it's very important that we recognize where our ancestors have faulted, especially, yeah, I don't want to get into a whole bunch of that, but
Oh, listen, like I said, that's
There's a lot of it.
Yeah, we definitely got deep.
I mean, yeah.
So, bringing it back to a more positive note, what are some things that are some tips that you give in terms of diving into learning more about your past lives and what you can take from that, from the past into the future, and just some information that'll help us cultivate a positive past life experience?
Of course. Meditation is a big one. And, if you want to even go further, I would look into astral projection. That's a lot harder to master, but you can tap into, seeing yourself outside of your body, seeing past lives, outside of yourself, you're outside of your current self. And, but anyways, meditation's a big one. Just centering yourself, feel like write down what you feel afterwards, and like start it with the intention of, you know, tapping into these past lives, and like what you want to gain from tapping into that. Because like, I think Nikki said, like, you have to be ready to receive that information. Like you have to be prepared. So it's not just like something you do at a slumber party, like a Ouija board or something. This is, yeah. So
I was always too scared of a Ouija board.
I'm a witch and like I do not mess with that. So
It always scared me, and I was like, listen, I would love to talk to them, but I don't want to be that open.
yeah.
You can keep it.
So yeah, meditation and like I said, deeper astral projection. I don't want to talk too much about psychedelics. You do what you want to do, but that, personal experience, great thing. And then of course, keep a dream journal. Just like what Bibi was saying, there was a part of a dream she had that was like almost essentially warning her and protecting her. So notice that, like, keep a dream journal and notice the patterns and notice what themes are coming up for you. And it could just be something from your past life here to remind you of something, to protect you from something, to, just even tell you about your future as well, that you're on the right path. Can you share what your experience was with psychedelics and why?
I'm curious too.
Okay, as I wasn't sure if I could talk about that on YouTube. I'm just going to give the disclaimer. You do you.
I think talking is okay. It's showing that's the problem.
Yeah, okay. So, shrooms, that's a good one. And LSD for me personally. But both times, well, the first time I ever did LSD, I traveled somewhere that I've never even been to ever in my life. And I can only describe it as like Neon Tokyo. Like I have no Japanese lineage in my family, ancestors, nothing. So it's just really interesting that like it went there. And what I gained from that is like, I was like a freedom fighter pretty much. Like I was like, I don't want to say I was in a gang. It was more so like an organized, like we're gonna save people from, and it just, to me, that was like maybe reflecting on like my people pleasing tendencies and the way that I want to save others before I save myself. And so to me, that was served as a reminder that, like, okay, maybe it's okay to be a people pleaser, but like, take care of yourself, because you're no use to anybody if you can't take care of yourself first. So, but shrooms are another one for me that get me deep into meditation as well. And also past lives, but also meeting like my spirit team. Like, if you believe in that, of course. You know, you have your ancestors, your spirit guides, your angels, and it's your spirit team. So, it sounds wild, but like, I've seen like galactic beings like in meditation. So, it's not meant to scare you. Okay, yeah. So definitely.
Wow.
De-
I have,
I'm like,
I feel that
Sorry, my kid just started talking and walking out in the living room, and it just like,
I get it. I have one that does that. That's why Daddy's out there right now.
yeah,
that there's a inner child work. I want to try the joy plant myself. Um,
the
and
what? I'm sorry.
she well, I didn't know if we could say the word actually. So I'm just call it the joy plants.
The joy. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm hoping to have an experience this weekend for the first time, and I'm gonna let it in.
And you know, and I understand. I saw somebody said that they had a panic attack and it triggered a lot, and that's, you know, 100% like, definitely do this at your own discretion, of course. You know, if it's something that it is not for everybody, not for everybody. And again, it's like, you have to be ready. Personally, like, I don't want to get too into the negative experiences, of course, but it does happen.
Mm.
I don't want to be all sunshine and rainbows. It's not positive for everybody. So
No, even I've never tried them, and I've told my husband, I was like, if you're not ready, like, don't do them. I'm open, like I'm like, let's let it in, let it flow.
yeah, obviously, like, have a sober person with you, a trip
Mhm.
sitter, if you will. But yeah, and there's a lot of states where it's becoming legal now.
Yeah, not here yet. You know, we're in Florida, so we'll see. But
sorry.
I'm excited.
Oh, the shrooms stop the panic attacks. Okay, sorry, I misread that. Well, that's good.
No, that's really good.
Have you ever thought of doing a lead guided meditation? I've not. I don't know. I've never done that personally. That sounds really interesting. Meditation Monday.
Meditation Monday.
I listen to them on YouTube. Whew, baby.
As long as it's after 8 p.m., I'm there.
I've had my sister one. I did a yoni class with her. So she did a guided one where we tapped into your womb, baby. Whew. Yeah, I ain't like her afterwards. What?
I was about to say, I don't know how deep we wanna get.
With that, you're gonna get real deep.
Yeah.
We want to. So now we're taking the steps to get myself healthy, so that way, when it's time, you know, it's gonna be all right.
Excited for you. My baby factory is closed, but I'll send it all your way.
Thank you. Baby fever is out of the world.
My tubes are cut and gone. Let's just enjoy you.
I have had multiple psychics tell me I'm supposed to have 3 children, and that was when I didn't even think I could have any, and
wow.
now I have 2. So
you got one more coming.
I know.
What?
See, I had 2, and I'm lucky that the second one is here because hubby was like, no. They asked me on the operating table, are you sure? And I was like, cut him out.
I just don't want another baby daddy. That's the thing. I don't want that. That's what I don't want.
Manifesting your husband, honey. Write down what you want in a man. Well, I'm going to say what you want. Ask spirit to guide you. What is it that I need? Because we know what we want. And obviously what we want ain't getting us what we need. So, write down the qualities that you want in a man. You know what I'm saying? And start, if you pray over it, meditate over it. All of that.
I have used sex magic before to manifest.
Sex magic. See,
we're not talking about manifestation.
Pony eggs, sex magic. Let's make it happen.
Girl, listen. Look, now you diving in.
Let's talk about sex magic. Yeah, use your orgasms to manifest whatever you want, honestly. You don't need another person to do it. It could just be you.
Masturbation is beautiful. But you have to be intentional. So like going into it, you have to be intentional. And right at the height of it, you have to be intentional. You can't lose focus because it's good. Because no, you got to stay focused, sis. Okay.
It gets wild. Like it does.
It's almost like burning your manifestation out into the world. You're like, you're there. Let it go.
And who wants to have sex magic? Carrie said. Literally, I've been with people before where I'm like, hey, by the way, I'm gonna use this as sex magic right now, and they're like, okay. I was like, I just wanted to get your permission that I'm gonna use our orgasms for
content idea.
There you go.
I've never heard that one before. I'm excited. I love learning new things.
Yeah.
What? Sex music. Sex music. Don't stop my shit. Okay, come on now.
You're bringing out my inner wine drunk.
It's gonna be good.
So how do we do sex magic? Nikki.
So now you can use your partner, okay? And what it is basically being intentional with your sexual stuff. If you do it by yourself, see, I've been doing it by myself because I ain't got no partner. But I would write down my intention and put it under my pillow. What is it that I'm trying to manifest? Put it under my pillow. And as I'm getting myself there, I'm visualizing I'm visualizing what it is I'm trying to manifest. So if you're trying to manifest, let's just say a new car, what type of new car are you trying to manifest? What is it? What's the car that you want to get? You know what I'm saying? Because what people fail to realize about manifestation, don't worry about how you're going to get it. You need to focus on, I already have it. I see myself with it. This is where I see myself. I see myself sitting in my new 2023 Honda Odyssey with video, like you have to be detailed. If you want, with rims, with automatic sliding doors, with heated seats, with video, with stuff in the back, TVs in the back for the kids when we go on trips. You know what I'm saying? Like you really got to,
Nikki, that's really crazy because that is the exact van I'm trying to manifest right now. Like That's really wild that you like said that.
but keep on
Speaking it out into the open, making it happen.
So once you get it in your mind, like you see it, you know, you do what you do. Like you play in your yoni thing, you know what I'm saying? But still envisioning in your mind what it is you're manifesting. And then once you get to the height of it, I know I have actually said like little affirmations, like you could say the van is mine, or whose van is, you know what I'm saying? Like you whose van is it? It's my van. Okay, so like, but at the height, you can say affirmations, or you can just really envision like you driving the car and things of that nature. And that's the personal. Like if you have a partner, tell the partner, like get the partner on board. Okay, look, we trying to manifest something. What is it we're trying to manifest? Do the same thing. And at the height, y'all both have to be in that same vein. Like you have to be on one accord.
And that sex is like usually like insanely intense too. Like it hits different. It hits different. It's spiritual.
So how do you handle haters? Negativity? What type of haters? Like haters, what you mean? And here we go. Clickety.
Oh, return to sender.
Or you can do a freezer spell.
That too.
I have a big mouth behind a keyboard. I to like piss them off. No, I'm just kidding.
And spells are for things like this are often you have to be careful to, you have to protect yourself as well because you don't want to receive any blowback essentially.
Not only that, you don't know how powerful that other person's spiritual team is.
Yes.
And you don't know who their spiritual team is made up of. So therefore, you really got to be careful. But if the easy way, get you some crystals. You know, get you some protective crystals. You can say a prayer or two. But like when you start getting into spells, yeah, you got to be careful, baby.
I am one for like charms, like crystals are like I literally have like evil eyes everywhere. I have a evil eye doormat. I have an evil eye tattooed on me. Like I want to be in a bubble. like so that charms work as well as spells can. But it's all about intention.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely with the like iHeart BBW is growing so quickly, and a lot of really positive things are happening. It is definitely attracting more haters and negativity, and because of that, I'm like, how do I protect my energy? Because it's difficult to still be positive when you're getting a lot of negativity and hate. And I know this is something I've dealt with 1,000,005 times, and it's nothing new to me, but now I have more people to protect. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just me, it's the collective, and it's the brand. And it's just like, like they say, when you grow and you do big things, it always attracts the haters, and why not me? And,
So this is what I care. Continue to love. Love is what's going to protect you, baby, because the more you love the ones that's here, that's going to rock with you to the end, till the wheels fall off, it's going to be genuine. And it's going to be because girl loved me when I ain't have nothing, or if she helped, you know what I'm saying, girl, you're not going to have to worry about protecting iHeart BBW. Because the ones that's coming and the ones that's here, what's up? What we doing? What we doing? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not always on you to protect. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying, but the more you grow and the more you continue to love on people, just being who you are, Carrie, baby, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Because guess what? They can hate, but you can't hate on genuine love.
No, you cannot.
I was about to say the same thing. Turn it into fuel. That's what I do for myself. I turn it into fuel, and I keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I'm not gonna stop just because someone tells me that, hey, hang it up. You're too fat. You're this. You're that. Just soar with it, because the only thing that will piss them off more than you posting already is everybody continuing to post.
I was just in I did a TikTok live the other day doing tarot readings, and I had 2 mods in there, but there was like over 100, 200 people just hit the most heinous shit you've ever seen, right? And I'm trying to just like focus my energy and just focus on the person I'm reading. And it got to be a little overwhelming for my mods. I could feel it draining them, but I'm just like, and then a friend popped in and was like, it's okay. You are divinely protected. Like, this is all right. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to restart the live. And guess what? No more trolls. Like, it's, you know, but if you want to incorporate some magic, Carrie, into, you know, other than just like, you know, intention, are you more of like a visual or hands-on person? Like, do you want to, like, do you envision things, or do you need to like write it down?
I'm more of a write down kind of person.
So just, you know, just what we've been doing, you know, outside of Witchy Wednesdays, like I am a magnet for peace and love and abundance, like that kind of thing. And if you want to manifest protection for not only yourself, but everyone under the iHeart BBW umbrella, like just use that same tactic with manifestation, like can be used for protection as well. It's not necessarily like, you know, I always just say karma will take care of them, you know, and just protect your own, you know what I mean? Oh, someone said thoughts on karma. That's, yeah.
I believe in karma. Don't get me wrong. It will get everyone eventually. But I have a fighter heart, and I like to get my hands in, at least behind a keyboard. And sometimes it gets good because I get them like blocked or deleted, and it makes me feel good in the moment. But I know that karma will take care of them because, I mean, the world can't handle that much negative energy. It's gonna push it out. I've always grown to know that. You know, I grew up very religious, and I know that they will get their time.
Exactly. And I just let karma do her thing.
And what people fail to realize that, baby, it might not get you. It might get somebody close to you. It might get your child. It might get your mama. It might get it don't have to per se get to you. So be careful how you do. Careful. Because baby, off people don't understand.
Well,
Off people, honey. Especially those that's divinely protected. Keep your mouth off of them. Because if you don't, when the ancestors show up and show out, don't say you ain't get a warning.
for sure. Well, it has definitely been a very interesting episode of Witchy Wednesdays, diving into our past lives.
You'll have to send me mine.
Talking about all the things. It definitely got really deep, got real. But thank you, Jess, for hosting, and thank you for coming. Nikki, thank you for coming. BB. And for those that were having technical difficulties, we thank you as well, even though we'll try to figure out what's wrong. And for all of those that are watching, thank you for coming to another episode of Witchy Wednesday. Of course, we'll be back on next Wednesday, but don't forget to check us out tomorrow at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with our Exotica Chicago follow-up. Oh, we got so much to share. Yes.
I will be watching.
I'm excited to watch.
We will love to have you. So make sure you subscribe to our channel, like, share, and comment, and watch our prior episodes. We need more views. We need you guys to watch. In fact, we're giving a merch giveaway tomorrow night. So we are going to be asking some trivia questions from prior shows. We're not going to tell you which ones. So you need to go watch all of them. So until tomorrow, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, thank you for watching Witchy Wednesday. And spread a little magic around.
Yes. Magic fingers.
Yes, magic fingers. Oh, and can't forget the heart. Yes. Bye,
Thanks for
y'all.
having me again. Bye.
Bye.